everybody, welcome back to BareRose Garage on another Sunday. What's going on? Looks like we got Dawn, the one-eyed cat. What's going on? I'd be here waiting somewhere close. Good to see you, man. Bruce Coltigan, always good to see you. Excuse me. Was out mowing and doing a bunch of yard work, and I got all dusted up. I hope my voice is still here. It tends to run away. JB's Little Shop, the sharpest guy on YouTube. What's going on, man? You keeping an eye on Mr. Lars out there? Oh, things that have come up. Well, you seen on my little shorts there that we drug a couple back. The Corvair. Actually, I think I got the engine transaxle out of that already sold. A good friend of ours is going to use it in a 29 Ford Roadster, of all things. He's setting it on a Volkswagen belly pan that he's had laying around, and well, this 29 little Roadster that he got, it started out as yard art, so you can kind of see where this is all going. And he was going to go Volkswagen, but we come across that Corvair, and well, he's interested in going that way, so we're working a deal that way. And for the plans I got for it, well, you ain't gonna need no Corvair stuff. And then all the other stuff. Actually, there's a lot of good hot rod stuff in a Corvair. They've got the reverse steering box in them. If you're doing like a 30s car, anything with a straight axle, you actually look for Corvair steering boxes because they steer backwards, and you do what's called a cross steer with them. And they're getting hard to find, and the ones you do find new, they're expensive. They're dang expensive. So if you're looking into that kind of stuff, try to find a Corvair somewhere. That steering box is gold. Who else we got sliding in here? Sidewinder, what's going on? Great to see you, my friend. And of course, we got our friend from down under there, big friend of Kiwi land, Dean. What's going on? Hockey Fox Unite. Keep your stick on the ice. So I got to get busy, and I think before I do it, though, tear into that Corvair, I'm going to try to do a will it run. See, I'm pretty sure she'll light up. The engine looks pretty clean. After I clean all the squirrel junk out of it, I lifted the air cleaner. Yeah, the squirrels have got that whole airbox crossover just packed full of acorns and what got you, pine nuts. Whew. So I'll dig all those out of it. I left them all in there, so you'll see me possibly do it on video if I can remember to hit that ding button, and maybe do a will it run on that Corvair and the '69 Lincoln that came with it. And the Lincoln as well, I'm just pulling the motor and transmission out of that one, and it's going off to, well, if anybody wants it, and you can come to Idaho to get it, because I don't want to ship it. And if I did ship it, it'd be more than what it's worth. Anybody wants a Lincoln, let me know. I got a '69 Lincoln that needs a front fender and probably front grill. But I'd probably take, well, standard practice, $500, and then I'll talk from there. But that's what my my schedule is looking like. Susanna Mingram, good to see you. I don't think I've seen you in here. Oh, yeah, excuse me. Mr. John Wilburn, represented. What's going on, John? Great to see you. 52 hours, 52 hours, 3 minutes, and 25 seconds. Ah, 52, 3, 25. I'm going to figure that out. Great to see you, John. Did a 100-mile poker run today. Valiant made it home. Sweet. I haven't been on a poker run in a long time. Those are a lot of fun. In fact, the last one I was on, I was in the band that was playing The Last Stop, a little bar in Mud Lake, Idaho. Whew, that was a rough gig. Oh, I get it. 52 days, 3 hours, and 23 minutes. Yeah, I get it now. Boy, time has just blown by this year, hasn't it? But yeah, that was the last poker run I was ever on. And I wasn't even in a band at that time. It was just a scramble to get something going. The owner of the bar called us up and said, "Hey, can you get something going?" Their band had dropped out. Something happened. They needed a pickup, so we just kind of showed up and oh, we just made a lot of noise. I'll just put it that way. A few people were liquored up enough to appreciate us being there, but yeah. Oh, those were strange days. Needs more carburetor. Oh, what's wrong with the 5 barrel? I would have to agree with you, Dean. Hey, we got Junkyard D in. What's going on? Great to see you. And in the morning, I got to fire the backhoe up. Dad's bringing home or bringing over. I don't know what year it is. It's in the 2000s. Two-wheel drive Chevy pickup, half-ton pickup. Whatever year it is, it had an LS in it. Had, but he wants me to lift the bed off of it, set it on the trailer, and pick the cab up off of it and set it down inside of the bed. And then he's going to haul that off, doing a big cleanup. But we're keeping the chassis off of that one. I'll probably set one of those 59 Fords down on top of that chassis. I measured it out. It's going to be tight. It's going to be real tight if I do that. That year of Chevy's pretty wide. Wheelbase, I don't care about wheelbase. I'll put the wheelbase wherever I want to put it. That's easy. But width, yeah, that's a little tough. Well, those Chevys are a little wide. If not that, I'll put my 69 Chevy cab down on top of it. That's easy. Especially if you step side them. Those step side fenders are a lot easier to extend out. Or in if you need. All you do is just cut the inside of the bed, cut out what you need, and then, well, the way we did it, we went to State Trailer Supply, bought a set of trailer fenders, and cut those to fit and make wheel tubs inside. Works great. Hey, look at here. Looks like we got Sidewinder Shed sliding on in here. What's going on, man? Good to see you.
Hey, good to see you, Kim. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, busy, dirty, and dusty.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sitting in the shadow, so you can't see it, but yeah, covered. Yeah, basically, yeah, covered in everything. Um, hey, buddy, I wanted to show. I want. Blah, 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 blah. Let me try this one more time. I
Happens to me
wanted.
all.
I wanted to stop in real quick, man, because of you, you have introduced me to this whole community, really, and they've gotten to know me a little bit more,
Uh-oh, see what
and
I did?
yeah, yeah. Thank you so much, man. Because I will tell you what, because of this community, the transmission went out on my daily driver on my old pickup truck,
Uh-huh.
and I didn't have the $5,000 to pay somebody to fix a $1,500 truck, you know, and
That's like putting a $5 saddle on a $2 horse.
oh yeah, well, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a good truck and everything, and there's no way I could actually replace it for 5 grand to begin with, but this was my first time rebuilding an automatic transmission myself, and the help and the support I have gotten from this community, from a lot of people that are listening to you right now, has just been amazing. I am blown away. I really am, and I mean a special, big, huge shout out to First Responder Garage.
Oh,
Uh,
Damien's awesome.
oh my God, yes, him, Mopar Nut,
Oh,
Mopar
that's
Nut.
so
Also,
good.
I mean, he gave me his personal phone number, you know, uh, on one of my live streams, believe it or not. It's one that I have deleted, I think, anyway. But it's just the help, the support. Um, I really want to get on here and at the beginning of your live stream to make sure everyone, I could thank them. And I can't mention everyone, list everyone, but it's amazing, Kim. It is just so awesome, and I
This
really do
community,
appreciate it.
the No Name Nationals community, I mean,
Yeah,
they are just the best guys I've ever met.
yeah. It's like I said, I can't thank you and everyone here in this community enough. I just again, and I know a lot of these guys, they're probably watching the 26 videos I made of the transmission, you know, tearing it down and putting it together and cringing and going, "Oh my God, oh Jesus!" But they were still so helpful. They just it's just unreal. I again, I'm blown away. I'm not used to that. I mean, people never met me. I've never met them, but they just hopped in, and there wasn't any BS or anything like that. It was all good tips, helps, and they're just willing. Hey, if you got a question, get a hold of me. Get a
Yeah,
hold of me this way, that way, the other way. And yeah,
here's my number. Send me some pictures. Yeah,
yeah,
get that
it's
all the time.
awesome, man. It is awesome. And I mean, you guys are all hot rodders and know what you're doing. Even
Well,
when you get into something, well, you know what I'm saying. You might break
you
new
watched a few
ground.
of my videos. I know. Come on, you can tell the truth there.
I am. I am. I mean, you're a good fabricator too, compared to me. Actually, Damien asked me a few times. He goes, "Well, you could do this, this, and this if you can weld. What do you have for a welder?" I'm like, Damien, I have JB Weld. Okay, that's what I have for a welder. I have tried to weld. I have had several people. I mean, some pipe fitters too that have done this stuff for years, and so I can teach anyone. They looked at me and they're like, "Have you ever seen an octopus during a thunderstorm undergoing electroshock therapy? That's what you look like trying to weld, Mark. I can't help you." I said, "That's okay. That's the way I dance too." I just, there are a few things, that I know I can't do. No matter how much I tried, it's not that I have no interest or anything. Trust me, welding would benefit me greatly. I've tried. God knows I'm 58 years old. I have tried for at least 40 years to learn how to weld. I can tack something, okay, and I can make it hold until I get it to a place where somebody can fix it. But yeah, oh my God, yeah, it just again, I'm sorry, man. I don't mean to hop on here.
Oh, no problem.
I wanted to get that thank you, that huge thank you out of the way first. And
Thank you for becoming a member of the community, getting involved, watching the videos. I mean, that's an immense amount of support right there. Thank you, man.
yeah, well, I don't know what I'm doing and I have no money to pay somebody to do it. So how else am I going to learn?
Get out there, get your hands dirty, bloody some knuckles. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Here, yeah, maybe you can see. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there you go. And this is not new. This is leftover from yesterday. I have tried scrubbing. It just no, not coming off. But
Hood for a 69 Impala, huh? Oof. I don't know. I did. I could have got you the whole car, but that one's long gone now. I think it's a stock car now.
and hey, I saw your videos on that. Oh yeah, brain fart. Um, yeah, that. Oh my God, brain fart, big time. You know the car I'm talking about that had the reputation for turning
Oh,
over and
yeah.
everything?
The
Yeah.
Corvair.
Corvair. Thank you, sir. Like I said,
So
brain fart.
I'm finding out it is the most hated car on the internet.
Yeah, but
See,
it's
I was lucky to make it home that car didn't kill me on the trailer.
on the yeah, exactly. That's a
Oh,
60-year-old wives' tale.
yeah.
It really. I love those things. I
They
oh
disproved Nader's findings in 69. They
yeah,
debunked all of that, but the reputation was done.
yep. That was it. And I have to make
They're
sure the
actually decent little cars.
oh they are they're wonderful, and I do have to make sure the wife is in the other room here because I had three girlfriends, not at the same time, but each one of them had a Corvair. They it's honest to God, I love that little car. I love that thing. It was such a fun little car. And I'll put it to you this way: I also love the old VW Beetles,
Yep.
but the Corvair was a lot cooler. To be
Well,
honest,
see,
back in the day,
you already knew how to drive a Corvair then.
Oh yeah,
You can
yeah,
drive a Volkswagen or a
yeah,
Porsche, but come on, who can drive a Porsche? They're just everywhere, right? But if you can drive a Volkswagen, you can drive a Corvair.
yep.
An air cooled car is completely different. If you lug a Corvair, oh, it won't last 2 weeks. You'll
No,
burn that sucker right to the ground.
and here's the nice thing too: the Corvair 6 cylinders instead of the 4 cylinder of the Bug.
Hmm.
With that being said, though,
Even the Porsche,
yeah,
because
yeah,
the Corvair, the 1960, that actually came out in 59, summer of 1959. And the Porsche was still rocking a four-cylinder.
oh yeah, oh yeah. W-
It was
Now,
very innovative.
another funny thing is to me personally, um, I actually loved the sound of that old Volkswagen opposed four-cylinder engine. I really did.
The
Of course,
can. Yep.
yeah, of course, I do like a low RPM engine. You know, and also being an airplane mechanic,
Yep.
there is not a whole lot
Right
of difference between that opposed four-cylinder Volkswagen and a Continental or a
there. Yep.
Lycoming opposed four-cylinder engine.
And actually, the Corvair didn't end in '69. It kept going through the '70s in aviation, though.
Hmm.
They used that engine in Cessnas, I believe it was.
Oh yeah, yeah. This
A
you know,
little bit different. They didn't have the belt, that wacko belt,
oh
and
yeah,
cooling fan because it's got a big propeller in front of it.
yeah, yeah. I don't know if I mentioned this to you before, but you know what the main purpose of a propeller is on an airplane? It's to
Thrust.
keep no, it's to keep the pilot cool. It's a big fan. It's to keep the pilot cool. Because trust me, if you've ever been up in a small aircraft and that propeller stops spinning, that pilot just starts sweating. He gets real hot.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he just starts sweating like crazy. But
for,
as long as
for
that
more
thing is,
reasons than just that, man. That
yeah,
that propeller quits. I'd get hot too.
yeah. Well, I
Get
mean,
all kinds of shaky.
as long as that propeller is still spinning, they're just as cool as a cucumber, man. But once it stops, oh, the sweat just starts pouring off of them. It's amazing. Yeah,
Well, they're
that's
basically a baked potato.
yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Um,
the
actually,
skin on an airplane is paper thin, and you're riding in an aluminum foil baked potato.
oh well, hey, that's the newer ones too. Think about a lot of the older ones, and ones that I flew and I was flying in, even during the '80s. The
Spruce
whole
and
frame,
canvas.
the whole frame is wooden.
Yep,
The skin on them was fabric.
yep.
You know,
Painted canvas.
yeah, and I mean, literally, it
They
was not
paint it
done.
to give it rigidity.
Well, it's they use, believe it or not, they use what they call dope. That was actually the technical name for it. It was dope. It's kind of like the oh, again another brain fart. The resin they use on fiberglass along the same lines, but literally, that was when I went to um, East Coast Aerotech, which was part of MIT to get my A&P license. Literally, the stuff they used on it was called dope. And, there was a lot of weird things there too. Um, when we talk about torque specs and, tolerances and everything, one of the torque specs, and this is to hold that damn propeller on too, was a 4-foot bar and 180 pounds hanging, not jumping, hanging. And I'm like, well, what does that equal? When should it click? When should it click? Well, it depends how old you are and what your joints sound like. Will tell you when it clicks. Other than that, it's 180 pounds on a 4-foot bar. That was the torque specification to hold the damn propeller on. I'm like, okay. This is why I don't fly anymore.
Oh, if you get into aviation, it's the tolerances alone in aviation will scare an automotive guy.
Oh yeah, big time.
Everything is loose
Yep,
and happy, and yeah,
yep. They have a lot in common, like I said, with the Volkswagen engine, air cooled, and with Harleys. I mean, they literally, because I was a Harley mechanic also, and it translates almost directly with the tolerances and everything else, and it's kind of like, what are you doing with the vernier caliper or micrometer? No, get a tape measure out. That's how you're going to measure your tolerances.
exactly. Don't need it. Don't
Yeah,
need field gauges. You do it with tape measure.
yeah, and some people think I'm kidding. I'm
Nope.
really not. No, you don't use a tape measure, but you use a engineers, the straight edge um, metal ruler, literally, because we're a lot of times we're talking a 16th, roughly, of an inch and stuff like that for a lot of stuff.
And
Obviously not
everything is
not
double.
bearings, but yeah, and it's kind of like
What I thought was funny is they don't allow fuel injection
oh no,
because
they
fly
didn't. Yeah, they do now.
for
They do
private.
now. Yeah. Well, actually, some of them they do now. They have
Really?
ADs out, aircraft directories out, and they do. But yeah, we're talking a lot of these aircraft and everything. They still have points. Um, no electronic ignition. They still have carburetors. Like you said, no fuel injection. Not even a throttle body fuel
Well,
injection.
I take that back. They don't allow electronic fuel.
Right. Right.
Mechanical they do.
Mechanical.
Yeah,
Yes. Thank you for the
sorry, I got to
correction.
step
Yeah.
back. Yeah,
Yeah. It's like a diesel.
yeah,
The
exactly.
mechanical fuel injection. They do allow that now. But yeah, think about it. You get a brand new car. How many times you've been going down the road and it just dies because some sort of electrical part went out? Okay, you're in an aircraft.
It's hard
You're
to pull
flying
over.
along. Mine, yeah, yeah. These clouds. It don't matter how thick they are. You really can't park on them. It doesn't work. Yeah, I've tried. I've been in several aircraft where we've lost the engine for one reason or another. And oh yeah, those clouds, as fluffy and big as they look, yeah, we went right through them. It was amazing. It's kind of like, and you know what? They didn't even feel like cotton. It was just wet. It, it was just wet, and it's just kind of like, yeah. So the aircraft was wet. The pilot was wet. Oh, and trust me, I was wet with a few lumps too. Yeah, it was not pleasant.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
easy to pull a car off the road. Yeah, airplanes when they come in, yeah, it's a little messy.
Well, talking about stopping though, that's something you don't have to worry about in aircraft because if it stops running, eventually you're gonna stop, and it really don't take that long. You're gonna come to a very solid stop.
Yeah, gravity still works to this
Oh
day.
yeah, I worked for Beechcraft for a
Hey,
while.
Buff, great to see you. I was actually thinking a lot of you when I was doing them Corvair videos.
Oh, Buff Del Campo. All right, buddy, Buff. I want to thank you too. You and
He was an
Kim.
airplane mechanic,
Yeah, I want.
all kind of stuff. Yeah.
I had no idea about that, but he's one I since he popped up, I want to thank him so much for his support and Kim's support. With watching an idiot like me try to figure out how to do a transmission on my truck. I really they've all been great, man. I again can't thank them enough. Um, but Buff, I don't know if you're asking me what was I riding in. Okay, I was in a Beechcraft Sundowner. We lost the engine in that. Um, Believe it or not, I was in a King Air 90, one of the small ones. And I'll tell you that story in a second if you'll let me, Kim.
Oh, go ahead.
All right. And then twice in the military. One was a C 130. That was okay, though, because I had a parachute with that one. I wasn't overly concerned. They were going to kick me out halfway through the trip anyway. And another one was believe it or not, an old Huey. Again, when I was in the service, and that was during takeoff. And we were in the bad zone also, and that thing came straight down. And I will tell you what, they very well designed bird. Okay, because when it hit the skids, those skids, I mean, they literally bent right out, absorbed the shock, bounced us back up before we got about 10 feet. I think it might have bounced the damn thing up about 20 feet. When we were about 10 feet in the air, everyone that was in it, we just unasked. We hopped out. And every single one of us, like a bunch of idiots, were running towards the ditches and we're covering our heads. Like that's going to protect us from the rotors or anything that are coming at us. But it was a natural thing to do. Couldn't help it. We laughed about it afterwards. But
Actually, if you see in my videos, my welding extension cord,
mhm.
that's actually a starter cord for a helicopter.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah,
No kidding.
the guy that I got this place from, that's what he did. He was a helicopter. He maintained, well, he did it in service, and then he did it for the hospital, for life flight and all of that.
I
And
got
this was an old cord that they were throwing away, so he drug it home, and he used to use it to plug in the dryer
oh,
outlet and drag it out to the shop for his 220.
oh, okay. All
He
right.
laughed. He'd said, "Yeah, keep that." And my God, it's heavy.
I imagine. I can imagine.
It's
Yeah.
about
You
it's
know,
about that big around.
yeah, given my choice between anything I'd like to fly in to this day, I prefer rotary wing. I prefer helicopters. I really do. It this when you fly, if you ever fly in a helicopter, it's just like when you're dreaming about flying. You just come up and you take it off. All right. On an aircraft, and I don't know why they ever plan this, but at the end of each runway, there's either a friggin' mountain, a cliff, or trees. And you're hauling ass at about 120 miles an hour and going, I hope nothing goes wrong. I'm like, this is not natural. You know, you're a drag racer, sir. Now imagine at the end, and I know you've seen it on these drag strips, but let's say the quarter mile ends at a quarter mile and there's nothing but a bunch of trees there. Okay. That's what it feels like to me. That's my perspective about going on a fixed wing aircraft. And it really doesn't matter how long the runway is. It always looks like, yeah, we ain't got enough room. We don't. But that story when we lost an engine on that King Air, I was working for Beechcraft and I wasn't a pilot at the time. I didn't have my license. I was working on it. Uh but I was an A&P mechanic. And Beechcraft had a policy. All right, whenever they did picked up some passengers, and this was all corporate big wigs and everything. Um, you had to have two people, two warm bodies in the aircraft. Hopefully, one of you knew how to fly. Okay, but yeah, this the pilot, one of our regular pilots, he said, "Hey, man," he said, "I need you to take a trip with me. It's only 45 minutes one way, and then 45 minutes back." He said, "But I have no one, and we need two people." I was like, "Hey, yeah, get me out the shop. Sure, I'll go for a ride with you." So uh, we went, we landed. All right, this is a King Air 90. It's one of the smaller, very small, only about six passengers, maybe eight. This is my God, this is over almost 40 years ago. And anyway, we land. He never told me we were in. Please forgive me because I don't mean to pick on anyone, but they never mentioned we were picking up eight passengers or six passengers for a Weight Watchers clinic. I'm not kidding you. This is no exaggeration. It loads from the back. All right, tricycle. All right, landing gear. The entrance is in the back. Okay, and we because it's a small plane, we have a ladder and walking in. I literally had to sit on the nose gear, hug it, and hold it down as they were getting in, and they could only let one person in at a time. All right. Otherwise, it literally was lifting the nose gear up, and I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. All right. So we get everyone loaded. They had to leave half of their luggage there too because we were overweight.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, and we take off and everything, and we're about 20 minutes into the flight. We got about another 25 minutes to go, and I see the pilot, and he keeps looking at the right engine, and I'm watching the gauges, and I see the temperature on the right. It's climbing. It's climbing. It's right up there. And I said that engine's running a little hot, ain't it? He goes, "Yep." I said, all right, on the King Air 90, loaded like we are. I said, how far can we go on one engine? This is no bullshit. He said, oh, we can go all the way to the ground. Okay. And he said, and I guarantee you, we'll be the first ones there. Oh, I never rode with him again. I just,
Oh Lord.
I was just like, all
I,
right,
I stick to cars. I keep it on the ground.
yeah, just, and
Aviation, I know
I swear to
about
God, that is a true
that
story.
much.
Everything he said to me was true, also. And I'm still sitting there. I'm going, are you out of your mind? This whole trip? And God help me, I can't remember his name, but I remember I was like, do you hate me or something? Why? Out of everyone here, why? Why did you bring me?
Oh,
I
he
was,
was the littlest guy.
oh
He knew what he was picking up.
yeah, no, yeah,
He was looking at you. Wait,
yeah, 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 yeah. Because at the time I was a whopping 150 pounds.
there you go, right
You know,
there.
yeah. It's just like, oh God. Oh, yeah, doing an auto rotation. Cletus, showed a video doing
Oh,
an auto.
that's scary.
Oh, no, believe it or not, I used to love that, Beechcraft, when I worked there, we used to take care of, Digital Equipment Corporation's, helicopters. They were all, Bell Jet Ranger 3s, and again, the pilots, they used to love to take me up with them. And over in the practice area, and we would practice auto rotation. I got the biggest kick out of that. And these guys were good too. A lot of them, you also have to understand, they're old Vietnam veterans. All right, that used to fly the old Hueys and everything. This is, again, this is a long time ago. And but I used to love that. That's why I love the helicopters. That's why I love the rotary ring. Yeah, the wife is like, I have to take her for a ride on one. All right, sweetheart, I can't fly them anymore. It's been too damn long. Yeah,
You
yeah,
about got to
yeah.
be an octopus to fly a helicopter.
Oh, yeah.
Everything's doing something.
Yeah, if you are not squinting, searching, jiggling, moving, sweating, you're not flying the damn thing. You're not. I mean, hell, totally different from fixed wing. You are busy all the time.
Especially a Chinook.
Um, I've never been up front on a Chinook. I've been on the back for a little while, and then again, halfway through before we landed, they kicked my ass out. I had to leave. So now, honestly, now that I think of it, I've never landed in a Chinook. I've
Really?
never been inside a Chinook when it landed. No, they my trip was like, all right, here's my ticket. Oh, well, you got it
Here's
for
your
half.
stop.
Yeah, you got it for half price. We're here. There you go. Have a nice day. Um, and there's been a few times I was pushed out of it too, or asked to leave without a parachute. They just gave me a rope. Yeah, I did. I did not only air assault as well as airborne. So yeah, I repelled out of helicopters as well as jumped out of aircraft.
They're
Okay.
awful stable.
Yeah. Well, now that I've said that, I'm understanding why my body hurts so much right now.
But boy, one of the worst things they did was turn one into a gunship. I mean, it had some firepower,
Ooh.
but good night, it was slow and big.
Yeah. Yeah.
Had to have a
Fortunately,
lot of firepower and a lot of fire support because, like I said, it was like my dad was saying, it was a giant target with a big old bullseye right
yeah,
on.
the old Jolly Green. And fortunately, the Army didn't use too many of those, but I did go with the Marines a couple times, like I said. And where was I stationed? All right. I was stationed at Fort Irwin, Fort Knox, Fort Devens, Fort Lee, and I served with Alpha Company Special Operations Group, 4th and 158th Aviation, 82nd Airborne, 101st, I'm sorry, 82nd, well, yeah, 82nd Airborne, 101st Air Assault, and I was attached to, don't get me wrong, I served with 4th and 158th, 4th and 150, no, 2nd Battalion, 75th Ranger Regiment, but I was not a Ranger. Okay, I served with them. There's, there's a big difference. I don't want to put out the wrong information. Um,
Thank you, man.
yeah.
Really, thank you.
Oh, you know what? Again, you've said that before, and I always say I appreciate it, Kim, but no need to thank me. I was young, dumb, full of cum, didn't know what the hell I was doing. But honestly, nowadays, I appreciate it because it was people like you and everyone that appreciated the fact that I served. That's that means a lot. It really does. I am embarrassed to, say anything about it. I have a lot of stories that I love telling, um, but I don't do it for the thanks or the notoriety. I do it a lot just mostly to show that I'm the same idiot now that I was 40 years ago. Yeah, I haven't changed much,
I
but
was all signed up, all ready to go. Me and my best friend, we were going to go in on the buddy program, and I blew both knees out.
oh, yeah,
I showed up with, I'm still good friends with the recruiter, heck of a cool guy.
oh,
He had the highest recruiting rate of this entire area because he
yep,
showed up in his Class A's, recruiter
yep.
on a Harley.
Mm, there you go.
All
There
the
you
Navy
go.
guys, Marine guys. Why is the Army getting all of them right there?
Yeah, yeah. I'll tell you what. I have a very good friend. He was actually my brother-in-law's
But that
recruiter.
was the 80s when it was actually kind of hard to get in. They were
Yep.
downsizing.
Oh
Heck, I
yeah.
don't know. That was back when they were kicking full bird colonels out for a DUI.
Yep. Yeah.
And then
Then
that storm hit and boom, and then everything went from there.
yeah, it's amazing. Um, because I'm Desert Storm veteran. Okay, and it is. I never thought, my oldest stepson would be in the same area, and I for 20 friggin' years, you know, I knew it would be long. I knew it was a bad idea. After 9/11, I really did. That was just a feeling I had. But it was one thing I never thought my kids. would go through the same crap, I did, and they had it worse than me. I mean, we're talking what, 3 months basically, and then the fighting's. Yeah, they kept that shit up for 20 years, and really, it was almost like a Vietnam era withdrawal. Nothing, you know.
Yeah, and it was, yeah.
Yeah. Again, I don't want to get political. I'd rather tell the funny stories about what my dumbass did. But much respect.
Doing
Uh,
120 in a helicopter and then do a bank, hard bank, and oh,
yes.
suck your eyeballs out through your back pockets. Yeah.
When I was with 4th to 158th, my company commander. All right. Again, another Vietnam vet that flew these damn Hueys because we were a reserve unit. So we had the Hueys instead of Blackhawks. Well, I don't know if anyone remembers, but during Desert Storm, the Blackhawks, that's where they earned the name Crash Hawk. They were falling out of the skies. The filters and the
Yeah.
engines just
Get
couldn't
wiped up
handle the
in rain.
dust.
Yeah.
The old Hueys, they weren't happy about it, but they would still run, and they would get you point A, point B, and then point C and D afterwards too. They were literally Mack trucks of the air. Okay, and oh, I'll take my company commander. Well, he was my lieutenant first, and he got promoted to company commander. Captain Maroney. Um, Good Lord, hell of a pilot. And just for fun, he used to like to take me up in the air too. I don't know what the hell it is about me. All these pilots used to like to grab me and go, "Let's go for a ride." Let's do some loops. Let's lose an engine. Let's see if we can fly, but below these fucking power lines. Okay, we should have enough clearance. Are you sure? I don't know. We'll find out shortly.
He's
Why?
like a company mascot. Let's see if we can
Yeah,
skip Sidewinder today. Come on.
yeah, no kidding. But yeah, you're talking about going sideways like that. Literally, yeah. In the Huey, I have had because unlike the show in the movies where everyone's looking out the front, no, you sit sideways and you look out the damn doors. Okay, I do not have big feet either. All right, I have a size 8.5 foot. Okay, my toes are hanging out the edge. Okay, there's not a whole lot. Of course, I'm sitting down, but this I don't have acres of distance between the tip of my toes and the outside world. No, my toes are right there, hanging over. Okay, here goes this helicopter like this. All right, and back then we didn't have a full harness. We had a seat belt, a lap belt, and and nothing to hold on if you're sitting in the middle and you're just bent over. I'm like, this, yeah, okay, this is good. And we were
I
flying
remember
Napoleon.
looking into one, and it had, like you said, the seat belt in the back in the cargo where you
Yeah,
ride, and
yep,
they look like GM seat belts, like out of a GM car.
yeah.
They just don't have the GM logo on them. It had
Probably
like a
did.
star, if I remember right,
All I
or a
know.
sunburst. Yeah, it was like a sunburst.
Yeah, I really wasn't looking at the buckle because I had both hands holding on the side of it just in case that buckle let go. I'm still like, I at least I'm gonna hang on to something. And we're flying nap of the earth. All right, we're following a river. Okay, and I'm looking at the river. I'm kind of like, if this does let go, no biggie. I'll just hit the water at about 90 miles an hour. Yeah, and my 150-pound ass will just skip along it. I should be fine.
They'll call me Skip until they change my name to Bob.
Yeah, exactly. Good Lord.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, now that I'm telling these stories one after the other in a row, yeah, I'm starting to think, I don't know if these guys actually liked me or hated me. Yeah, I really
I
don't
think he was
know.
the company mascot. You was probably the inside dare. Who's going to make you puke today?
Yeah, nobody won that. Look, I'll be honest with you too. Here's the thing. I'm the youngest out of 16. All right, and I have 8 sisters. Um, Not worried about my brothers. Okay, they just beat my ass. The sisters were evil.
Oh yeah,
Okay, they they would
they screw
scheme
with you mentally.
exactly and connive. So I get up here. All right, I already have a feeling. They're gonna scare me and everything. I am not gonna give them the satisfaction of knowing. Okay, now get back on the ground. I'm still alive. I'm uninjured. I'm happy. Okay. And I don't show any emotion. As soon as everyone walks away, my knees go out. I have to change my underwear, and I'm probably puking too, but not where they could see me. Okay. It was after everyone was gone. I'm like, yeah, that wasn't bad. No, I wasn't worried. I have the utmost faith, and yeah, I've been through worse. No problem. Well, damn, you're a tough little son of a bitch, aren't you? Yes, yes, I am. Yes, sir. They turn around, and I'm curled up in the fetal position, sucking my thumb, going, "Oh God." Uh, As a matter of fact, when during Operation Just Cause in Panama, we went in at night in a C-130, and we were off course. Oh my God, we were off course.
I had
And
two friends that were over there in that time.
excuse me.
I have
I'm
two friends that were there at that time.
Alrighty. All right.
One
So
was my old boss.
they might be able to confirm this depending on where they were and everything, but we went in at night, and we're a bit off course, and we had the flak anti-aircraft AAs coming up at us, and literally you could see, we called them fireflies. You could see the tracers coming up. For every tracer you see, depending on what's firing, you have 5, 10, or 15 behind it that you don't
Yeah.
see. Okay. All right. That's bad enough. But we could hear them hitting the plane. We could hear them, the thump, 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 as they were hitting it. All right. And they open up the back, all right, the ramp. And I had about 5 guys in front of me. They all jumped. All right. Again, I'm 150 pounds, and I'm carrying about 90 pounds of equipment with me. All right. And so, yeah, literally, I'm shuffling up to the door. And the jump master, my God, I can't tell you how big he was, how tall he was, or how much he weighed. But I can tell you this much: he wore a size 13 boot, because I still have it imprinted in my left ass cheek. Because that light turned green, and he's like, "Go." I looked right at him. I said, "No." He did a sideways soccer kick, literally. And anybody that's jumped out of C-130, knows the ramp. And we were on a static line too, which is a good thing, because when he kicked my butt, the plane went away from me. I did not get to the ramp. My arms were pinwheeling like this. My feet were up in the air, and the ramp just went out from under me. And next thing I know, of course, static line pulls the chute and everything. And here I am floating down with a bunch of fireflies coming at me, and I can feel them hitting the canopy as well. It was not a pleasant sensation.
Good Lord.
Yeah. I I
A lot
was
of people don't know about Panama.
No, they don't.
Yep.
No.
The the head manager of the gun counter that I went to. He was over there
It
when I
was
was
it
from
was
Boise.
it was very short, but I'll tell you what, depending on where you were, it was extremely intense. It was
And howler monkeys everywhere.
oh
The canal zone is nothing but howler monkeys.
yeah, and triple canopy jungle.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you don't know what that means it can be noon and it's almost like 8 o'clock at night. Yeah, it's just so damn dark. It's hard to see anything. You can walk about 10 feet off a path or something, and nobody can see you. You're lost. You're gone, and that's without wearing camo. Trying to blend in. You know, so yeah. Um, Matter of fact, after I got my butt kicked out of the C-130, all right, my MOS was a scout. I was a U.S. Cavalry scout. So they put me on point. I'm on point. I'm first guy up, and we're trying to get. Like I said, we were off target, so we had to go about 3 clicks to our where we're supposed to be. All right, and they put me on point, and I'm walking along. Of course, we got everybody spread out behind us and everything. And Tim, I'll be honest with you, I had to go. I had to go to the bathroom so friggin' bad. I had to go, and so anyway, I'm walking. Boy,
Clothes are soaked anyway from all the humidity. So
I, that went through my mind. That really did. That went through my mind. But I'm like, I don't know if I could stand the stench. Okay, so anyway, I was like, all right, hold up, stop down. I'm gonna check something out. I had to go take a pee. Literally, I walked about 20 feet away. I don't have big shoulders. I'm still carrying a Alice pack. Okay, I'm trying to sling my rifle. I can't. My shoulders are just not big enough. I'm not a big guy, so I lean it against a tree and I start doing my business. About yeah, my God, I guess it was about maybe 8 to 10, about 8 meters or so, 8 to 10 meters off to my right. This is what I see. See how that light showed up on the video? Well, on a triple canopy, that's exactly what showed up. I'm like, why are they in front of me? None of my guys should be in front of me. Oh, shit. About that time, the boy looked at me. They were set up in an ambush foxhole. All right, 3 of them with a heavy machine gun, watching the trail that we were on. We would have gone right in front of them. Well, by the time he went, grabbed the rifle, all right, spun it around. As he's doing that, I reached for my rifle and I knocked it right down on the ground. Never got a chance to grab it. He opened fire. I fell down right on top of my rifle. I got my rifle right underneath me. He's firing at me. All right, he's hitting the ground all around me. So I did the most heroic thing I've ever done in my life. I grabbed the sling of the rifle, I put my head down, and I dug a trench to get the hell away from him as fast as I could.
good night.
With that being with that happening, I can feel the bullets and everything hitting right next to me. He spun me in a horseshoe. So by the time the rest of my platoon showed up, I'm facing them, and it looks like I'm charging towards them. Although, my head's down and I'm digging a friggin' hole, but it looks like I'm going right towards them. and I get behind a small depression and a small tree, and I'm like, whew, okay. And I hear everyone behind me now, which I think is the um, basically the enemy, but it's my own guys. I hear them opening up, and I still hear everyone in front of me, which happened to be the opposing force. Okay. I'm totally lost and confused. And the next thing I know, my platoon sergeant comes up behind me. All right. I wasn't expecting that. He's like, start firing. I'm like, oh, okay. I never picked my head up. I just grabbed a rifle, M16A1 at the time, and I set it to full automatic, and I'm just spraying. Okay. Ran through a 30 round clip like that. Now, my other magazines are on my left side. All my 30 rounds, they're on my left side. And that's the side I'm laying on. I'm not friggin' moving. Okay. But I have a few 10 rounds magazines, the smaller 20 rounds. God, it's been so long now, I've forgotten. But I have the short magazines on my right side. So I grabbed one of those. But what we had done is we had taken all of our incendiary rounds, all our tracers, and we just stuck them instead of every third round. We just didn't do that. We just put them because all that does is give your position away. We didn't want to do that. So we kept them, but we just put them in a magazine, separate magazine. That's the magazine I grabbed. I threw that in there. I literally fired off 3 rounds, and I heard all hell break loose. It sounded like there was a mortar or airstrike coming in. What I had done is one of those tracer rounds hit their ordnance in their foxhole and set it off. It took out all 3 of them, basically from their own ordnance. Nothing I did, nothing anyone else did. Just their own ordnance took them out. And it's like, okay, well then, my sergeant grabs me and goes, "Let's go, let's go." I get up and I start turning the other way. He goes, "No, this way." I'm like, "No, are you kidding me? That's where the enemy is. Why are we going to go that way? I don't want to go that way." Anyway, I did. And we get up there and it was a mess. I don't need to describe that, but there wasn't much left. And so we're standing around taking stock of everything. And next thing I know, our medic, and I don't know why, I always got set up with a medic that looked like Refrigerator Perry. Big guy, huge guy. We're standing around. He looks at me and he goes, "Head wound." I'm looking here, over there, and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Next thing I know, I got this 300-pound guy, tackles me, throws me to the ground, takes my helmet off. He's feeling everything around. And I'm like, well, this is when it dawns on me. I'm like, head wound? Holy shit, I got shot. Damn. Okay, so now I'm starting to freak out. And he's patting me around and everything. "Do you feel any pain?" All right. I
Got
just
a
said,
300-pound guy on me. Yeah,
yeah,
look.
on me. And I could, honest to God, I couldn't speak because he knocked the wind out of me. And he's going into convulsions. And I'm like, well, yeah, because you just flattened me. But anyway, he's feeling around, picks up my arm. Let's see if, where is it? No, it ain't going to show. I got a scar right here. That's where I got hit. I got hit on the arm, but it's so hot and everything. I'm wiping the sweat off my face. I can't tell the difference. It was all blood. So I'm covered in blood and everything. Well, he sees this. He cleans it off. He puts 2 butterfly bandages on it, hits me on the chest and goes, "All right, you're good. You're okay." I'm still sitting there. I can't breathe. I'm still trying to get my breath back. And I'm like, "No, I'm not. I was fine until you tackled me. I don't care what I looked like. I didn't even feel this.
You don't feel it till you look at it.
Yeah. Well, to be honest with you, at that point in time, that was the least of my concerns. I'm wondering, I'm trying to figure out if he broke any ribs or anything else. I'm like, what the hell is your problem?
Did you ever get to take that piss?
I was hoping, this is the funny part of the story. Throughout this whole experience, I was still hanging out, flapping in the wind.
You had a
I
rudder.
Yeah, I never put anything away. I didn't have time. So yeah, I'm running around like that, literally with another guy on top of me too. And you know, yeah, everything is just hanging in the wind too. Yeah, that
You laugh
no,
about it now. That's the
yeah,
important part.
yeah, not one of my better days, Kim. Not one of my better days.
Oh,
But yeah, instead of getting all political and everything else, these are stories I like to tell where I can, make fun of myself. And I don't do it for attention. I don't do it for other than just to make people laugh. You know, it's also therapeutic for me because, you know, being shot, having a 300-pound guy tackle you and start rubbing his hands all over you while your package is hanging out, you have to find a way to deal with it. And I find it humor kind of is therapeutic to me. You know what I mean?
it's better to laugh about it.
Yeah. You you
Oh,
got to.
man.
You got to.
Oh.
Good Lord. I'm sorry. And again, I'm doing the same thing I always do, sir. I'm taking over your damn live stream, and I don't mean to do
Ah,
that.
no, go ahead. The more stories like that you bring up, the more stories that I can hide.
There you go. There you go. But it's not just you, sir. It's the people that
Because my
come to
stories
your
like that
channel.
involve a bottle of Captain Morgan.
Oh, good Lord. But yeah, and I can't tell how
It's
many
just
people
being
are still
stupid.
here and listening to us. And I don't want to chase your viewers away. You know,
No,
they come here to see what you're up to, what you're doing with the Corvair, what you're doing with all the old cars and everything. And they didn't come here to hear a dumbass like me tell stupid ass stories.
hey, I do open lives. We'll talk about anything, but yeah, I kind of keep it shallow on the politics.
Yeah, yeah, same here.
It just that we see enough of that.
Yeah, but not only that, but we have. I'd rather focus on what we have in common. You know, um, I prefer to focus on what do we enjoy, what do we have in common, what interests you that way, and that's why I said I'm sorry about going off kilter with these stories, and I hope people found them funny. I hope they enjoyed them.
Well, thanks
You
for
know,
sharing them. Definitely. One of
yep.
these days, and I've talked to my dad about it, and he's given the okay. He's got well, when he was stationed over in Vietnam, he had a little 8 millimeter. I don't even think it was 8 millimeter, no sound, little movie camera, and
Oh yeah,
he's got a whole bunch of just soldiers being 18-year-old kids in another
yep,
country with, just being kids,
yep.
and it's some really good stuff. Playing volleyball. That's one of my favorite ones in there. It's just a bunch of guys out playing volleyball.
Oh my God, yeah, yeah. Like I said, a lot of places where I was deployed during combat and everything, they were real quick. So it wasn't like we really got to, hey, we're bored, nothing's going on. What can we do? To keep ourselves entertained. Desert Storm, a small little time like that. But basically, I was in a forward air refueling point at the time, which was basically a grid square on a map in the middle of the desert that changed actually, about every 12 to 16 hours we were moving. And it's not like we were stationed in a town or anything else.
Remember, right? Cousin Mike was at a lot of those.
Yeah, we were set up because what we would do is um, during the storm we had a lot of airstrikes and everything, and especially with the army, a lot of helicopters. We also did the Marines as well. And what it was is they would go out, but they wouldn't have enough fuel to get all the way back. So we were strategically
Oh,
set
this
up. So
refueler.
yeah, they would come in and we would do what they called a hot refueling, engines running and everything, and send them. Then they could go on home. Um, it was one time we got probed. You know, got shot at basically to see what our weaknesses were, and this is something that really irritated me. Being in combat before and being a line part of a line unit with combat arms, a scout. This time I was an aircraft. I was a petroleum supply specialist because they didn't need scouts. Okay, and I did not volunteer for this. I was called back in. Okay, and basically I was a gas jockey. All right, pump jockey, but for aircraft. And I wasn't overly happy about that because especially during hot refueling, I'm not I don't have a weapon. I'm not supposed to have a weapon. Okay. Uh, Back then we were issued anyone that had a sidearm. We're using the M9s, the Beretta 92Fs. I got a hold of a M1911 and three magazines, 21 rounds. All right. Now I kept that stuffed in my back. Okay. And we're getting probed
I hate
one time.
Beretta. I'm sorry, everybody. I do not like the Beretta.
No, I didn't care for it either. I don't know if you want to hear another story. Am I bothering you guys too much?
No, I just keep her going. I don't care. Like I
But
said, talk more and I don't have to. Go for it.
I got you. Well, let me finish this one, and I'll tell you another reason why I like the 1911 over the Beretta. But anyway, I had the 1911, and it was the second. It was the last chopper that was coming in. I had to fuel, and I heard zip ting, bang bang. That's the way it works. The bullets were so close, I heard them before I heard the gunfire. And I'm like, son of a bitch. All right, finish them up, take off, go. They're out of it because it was getting close. It was getting real close. Now, what we had for our perimeter defense was a platoon of Marines. All right, and I come up on top of the hill because we're in a little bit of a depression. I come up on top of the hill and I see the three Marines, and about 300 meters out, there was a spur at the edge of a mountain, all right, little spur, and that's where again I'll watch my language. That's where the opposing force was. Okay, that's where the bad guys were, and they were taking pot shots at us. And I'm sitting there, and I got three Marines. They're in the prone position. They got them in their sights. I'm like, why aren't you firing? What's going on? Well, we haven't been ordered to. Are you kidding? Are you kidding me? Now something you have to understand was I was out of the service. Okay, I was sitting at home, fat, dumb, and happy, but I still had a commitment, and they called me back in. Not only that, I was a scout.
Was you
They did,
topping out in the reserve?
huh?
Was you finishing out your time in the reserve
Oh, I
after
was
the
regular
tour?
Army before. They
Hmm.
put, all right, this is when they put me in a reserve unit.
Yeah.
Okay, and I didn't think I'd have a chance until, of course, the Blackhawks started falling out of the sky. And since my reserve unit was a Huey unit, we got called up and sent over there. I'm not happy about this. I wasn't happy about this at all. I was pretty well pissed off, to be honest with you. Well, anyway, I could see them. There was three guys out there. All right, and they're taking shots at it. I'm like, "Are you out of your mind?" I pulled out the 1911. That thing, no, it did not go 300 meters. Okay, but I walked it. I sighted it, and I kept going up and going up and going. I was dropping the rounds in like you would, like artillery would. I was walking them in till I got so high, they started coming back. I could see them hitting the ground, the sand, and everything. I could follow my rounds, and I was still a good 50 meters shy of where they were, you know, from what I could see. And finally, I guess I scared them off enough. They were still firing at us, but they made a tactical retreat, got out of there. And again, and I don't mean to say anything bad about the Marines because in Panama, they really impressed me. They were just some hardcore devil dogs. These guys, I don't know what the hell their problem was, but I'm pissed off. I look down at them. They're looking at me like I have three heads, and I'm like, they're in the open. You you guys got rifles. You have M16s. Uh, I could hit a target, man-sized target at 500 meters with iron sights. All right, I went to sniper school. Because I won the Eagle Eye Award because I never missed. All right, why aren't you shooting? And instead of them shooting and looking at me, and I'm like, oh my god, I was so pissed off. Well, I walked down the hill after that, and here comes my company commander, Captain Maroney. He comes up. He goes, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Well, I'm pissed off. Other than that, I'm fine." He goes, "Okay, you realize they were shooting at you. Rounds are coming all over you. Do you have any holes in you?" And I looked around. No, no. He goes, "All right, good." He goes, "Next question. Where the hell did you get that 1911?"
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I wasn't supposed to have it at all.
Oh,
And I said, "Well," I said,
I found it.
"No," I said, "Colonel Roper." I said, again, a guy I knew uh, back in the day from Panama that I had served with. He happened to be one of our regimental commanders, and I ran into him at the armory, and I was like, "Hey, you know." He was like us. He didn't care for the M9s. He wanted the 1911. I said, "Well, sir, I'd like one too. No problem." He hooked me up. Anyway, that's a totally different story. But anyway, I told Captain Maroney that. He goes, "Okay." He goes, all right,
Was it the
fine."
9 or the 12 shot? 11.
Oh, the 1911? No, it was seven. 7 shot, 7 round magazine, one in the chamber, 8 shots. That was his box stock standard military issue. Um, but anyway, he's like, "Okay, fine." He goes,
The
"Do
one
you
I've
mind
got
if I?"
now is the
Yeah.
Stagger, and I don't.
Oh,
You
no.
get a couple more rounds, but it's a lot wider in the grip.
Yeah, no, this is just your standard. Actually, it was Vietnam era, 1972 era um, pistol. Anyway, he asked me, he goes, "Do you mind if I see that?" No, sir. He goes, "Do you have any rounds left?" I said, "No." I said, "All I had was 3 magazines, not even anything to throw in the chamber, 21 rounds." I said, and I fired all of them off. He goes, "Okay." He said, I'm gonna hold on to this for a little while." So, all right, sir. He goes, "Why don't you go and sit down in the shade by the Hemet. We were using Hemets at the time, 8-wheel tankers. I said, all right. He walks up to the Marines, and now I could not hear what he was saying, but I could hear his voice. He was chewing their asses out big time. And then he comes walking back to me. And he goes, "On your feet." Stood up, you know, and he makes a big show handing me back the 1911. I mean, a big show. And I'm like, "What's going on, sir?" He said, "I just told them boys up there because they were under, even though they're Marines, they were under his command." He said, "I just explained to them that they have a standing order if they're fired upon to return fire." He said, "I don't know why they didn't understand this." He said, "But I made it clear they are." I said, "All right, outstanding." He said, "You know what I told him?" I said, "What?" He said, "If this ever happens again," he said, "they're not going to have to worry about the opposing force firing at them." He said, "Because I'm going to turn that little son of a bitch down there, his orders, not mine." And he pointed to me, when he was talking to him. He said, "I'm going to turn him loose, and I'm going to give him permission to fire your asses up." And that's why he was making a big deal out of giving the gun back to me. Everyone, pretty much knew it was for show, but we never had a problem with that again. Never did. Like I said, it was one of them funny things. Again, nobody got hurt. Nobody died, no blood, guts, or anything. Just a bunch of young kids that were scared and pissed off. That's it. But going back to Panama, though, I'm going to make this one short because there's a lot involved in it. But the difference between the M9 and the M1911, and when I went down to Panama, okay, again, I was attached to the 2nd Battalion, 75th Ranger Regiment, and I was 22, not quite 23, to answer the question, in during Panama, and so I was, yeah, 2 years later, a year later, 23, 24, somewhere around there. But anyway, um, I had kind of acquired before we left the old peg, the M60. We weren't issued it, okay, but I had, me and another sergeant had acquired it along with 4 ammo boxes of ammo, and that's another story in and of itself. But anyway, we got hit real hard in a defensive position. We got hit real hard, where my platoon sergeant and my lieutenant at the time had already passed out what they had for M16 ammo, their 5.56 ammo. They were down to their sidearms. I was on the 60, and when you run the 60, you have what they call a bandolier. Somebody that helps you carry the ammo. They usually carry your rifle, not the M60, but your rifle, and you always have a spare barrel with the 60. And we got hit hard enough that I basically melted the barrel on the 60. It was going red hot. I had to
Start
change it.
pushing on you.
Yeah, I had to change it. It only took me 15 seconds, which don't sound like much now, but that was a long time. That was a long time. And I dropped down behind some cover and changed the barrel out. But we had one big ass some bitch coming right at us. They were charging us, and my platoon sergeant, as I'm changing the barrel, my platoon sergeant still had the old flap holster for the 1911. Well, he pulled that out. As soon as he pulled it out, he thumbed the safety, but he had his finger right on the trigger. First round went between my left ass cheek and his right ankle.
Oh God.
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell are you? Whose side are you on? What the? I'm hurrying, okay? Yeah, I'm going as
Oh
fast as I
God.
can. In the meantime, my lieutenant has a 1911. At that time, I, yeah, 17 rounds is what they normally had in them. Well, he fired off. He emptied out his magazine. And the boy was still coming. And my platoon sergeant fired two more rounds. And by this time, I had the barrel changed, and I come up from behind cover, got my sight picture, and anyway, I'm still here. They're not. So we won that one. But I saw two rounds. I saw him hit the boy in the leg, and it dropped him. He went down. Hit him in the chest. He went back, and that was it. He never got up. So we took care of business after that. But after everything was over and done with, my platoon sergeant's hollering at the lieutenant, "Sir, 17 rounds, 17 rounds, and you missed him." And literally, the lieutenant said, "No, no, I didn't. I hit him. I saw pieces." His words. "I saw pieces coming off of him. I did not miss him. No." After a little bit closer inspection, this is a little while later, but we found out, yeah, he hit him 13 times, straight in, straight out. The boy was dead. He just didn't know it. All right. Two rounds from the 1911. Hit him in the leg, fractured his femur. Okay. Don't care how many drugs you're on, how amped you are. You do that, you're going to drop. And that's what he did. He stumbled and fell. The second round, center mass, chest, no exit wound, but it literally liquefied his organs. So it's hard to keep your body moving. You can bleed out, not even know it, and keep going. Okay. But when your heart and your lungs turn to jelly and there's no oxygen or blood being pumped, your brain shuts down fairly quickly. And that's what happened. But that's, again, that's why I will take a 45 over a 9. And you also have to understand this
The
was
clip
not.
release on the Berettas, they had a lot of troubles with that when they first introduced them because guys would get excited, pull them
Mm,
up, and hit that clip release and drop the mag.
yep.
And on Beretta, it don't matter if you got one in the chamber or not, it won't fire.
Yeah. But
Uh,
but yeah, you have to understand too. We were using military ball ammo. We
yeah,
weren't using jacketed hollow points. We weren't using any
you get caught
special
with that,
ammo.
trouble. You're in big trouble. You get caught with hollow points.
Yeah. Oh, in the military, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my God, yeah. But because I've had the reason why I brought that up though is because I've had a lot of people say, "Well, the 9 millimeter is worse, more powerful than the 1911, the 45 ACP round, especially if I use Eagle Talons or Black Talon ammo, or if I use this ammo or that ammo." I'm like, dude, I had a round fucking ball covered in brass. Okay, put those two together. I'm gonna take the 45 ACP any day because, especially at my age right now, if
only
I
takes
hit, yeah, if I hit you in the toe with that, you're probably gonna rethink your life choices. Okay, and if not, it's gonna stop you long enough for me to figure Do I want to stand here with 6 more bullets or do I want to run? Okay. And it depends how many cigarettes I smoked that day, what choice I'm going to make.
Yeah,
Again, Kim,
I love
I'm
my
sorry.
45.
Oh
In fact,
yeah.
my actual favorite is actually the long Colt, but
Oh
that's going way back.
yeah. Well, that
But
is a
that one, I'm guaranteed 6 of them are coming out that end of that barrel.
hmm
Might take me longer to get 6 more in there, but it
yeah.
don't matter. All 6 of them are coming out of there.
Well, not only that, but I'll tell you what, the 45 long Colt. All right, everyone thinks Peacemaker and everything. They're like, oh yeah, but Dirty Harry, the 44 Magnum, and this, that, and the other. No, I'll tell you what, that 45 long Colt is a mean ass
Oh
round.
Lord, yeah.
Not only is it fast, but it's heavy.
Hmm.
It's kind of like, all right, the
Well,
45 ACP
they're
is
on the slow side, but it don't matter. It's got a lot behind it.
comparatively speaking to the 45 ACP and the 45 long Colt. All right, the long Colt's
Yeah,
a lot faster. And of course, barrel length too. Talking 6-inch barrel versus a 4-inch barrel on the Colt 1911s. Okay. But I like to put it
or
this way.
not a semi-automatic. Semi-automatic, you lose about 25%
Oh, yeah. Yep. Yep. But I
because it's
like to
working
put
the
it this
action
way. Getting hit with the 45 ACP out of
on
a
that 25.
M1911
Less than that. I
is
like.
not is kind of like getting hit by my uh, by my 92 Dodge W250 at 50 miles an hour. Okay,
Instead of a Volkswagen doing 90.
right now getting hit by a 45 long Colt out of a 6-inch barrel is kind of like getting hit by a Kenworth at 40 miles an hour. Okay, none of them really make that big of a difference,
Well,
except for the cleanup crew.
a freight train average is only about 40 mile an hour.
Yeah,
But boy, when they hit, oh Lord.
yeah, and it don't matter. They ain't stopping either. My dad put in 36 years on the railroad, so I actually do have experience even running a freight engine. He worked on Penn Central and Conrail when I was alive. Before that, he worked. Um, oh,
My stepdad retired from UP,
uh,
Union
oh,
Pacific,
yep, yep.
and they pretty much own all of them now.
Oh
Union
yeah,
Pacific just bought everybody.
yep.
Me, Mopar, I kind of haven't in a long time. I used to a lot. It's a lot of the reason I have tinnitus now, but
Oh,
I haven't shot in quite a while.
now to answer Mopar nut on my part because I don't know who's asking, you or me, but you answered. I'll answer, and it's been a while because unfortunately, in this being a live stream, uncensored, not encrypted or anything, unfortunately, I lost all my weapons in a tragic boating accident. And my ex father in law, who is a charter boat captain, actually has it written down in his log during the storm where I lost all my weapons. It was terrible. I am I don't have anything. I have a knife and a tomahawk and an axe, and that's it. I have no firearms. They they
A
they
lodge.
they were all lost. Yeah, I'm not kidding you. He did write this down for me in his log, and that was Christ, 20 years ago or better.
Ooh. Good friend of ours was actually a track inspector. Drove his pickup truck up on the tracks. He got hit. Oh, that was about 25 years ago. He had a heart attack, is what they say happened. He was
Oh,
actually dead long before it hit, and that's why he was on the track still going. But
yeah. All right. Well, sorry about that. Again, didn't mean to bring stories in where
no,
it could
that's
take a
fine.
downhill turn.
Like I said, it's my lives. We'll talk about it, a little of this and a little of that.
Yeah. Oh, again, as long as you're
Really
not
got
getting
heavy
not
into archery. When I went to Boise, I pretty much quit rifle hunting. I got tired of getting shot at. So I quit rifle hunting and I went to black powder muzzle loading because I figured if they only got one shot, they put more thought into it.
Yep.
And then from there, I went to archery, and then I got into competition 3D shooting. That was a lot of fun.
Oh, no
I
kidding.
actually got
Yeah.
sponsored by Archery Research.
Yeah. Yep.
I still got
I didn't
the
think you were
last bar,
talking
which
about Armalite. Yeah. But yeah, no
it's
kidding.
PSE's top brand, premier brand is what it was.
I unfortunately never did get into archery. Um, I don't want to make anyone sick, but if you ever see my shoulder, it kind of goes like this. Kind of uh yeah. In Panama, I managed to get my ass blown up.
Yeah, that's what you were saying.
Yeah. And so I got pieces and parts of me that either don't work right, are in the wrong place, or are completely missing. So yeah, and the shoulder bone is one of them things that is just not in the right place. So I don't have the draw. I can't do it. And even if I do get it back, I can't really hold it anymore. But
When you gonna rebuild your next RH-46?
I am not. I hope to God I'm not going to have to. I wouldn't have done this one if I had $5,000 to throw on a $1,500 truck. I really didn't want to do this. You know what? I wanted during all this time I've spent on this transmission, I really wanted to put that damn engine I built in the truck. But now I don't have the time or money to do it. But yeah.
Makes me not want to talk with a filter.
Oh.
I was talking with a filter today. I was asking her, why is it all so plugged up? Daggone it. I got a lawn to mow.
Oh, I was kind of lucky today.
After I had to weld the spindle back. Oh, man, yeah, today was a rough damn day. Everything I touched broke today.
Oh, I hate when that happens. I actually had a pretty good day today. I got a little bit more work done on the truck, and it was my grandson's. We had a party for my grandson, a birthday party, 8 years old, and so had all the kids over, and they're tiring, but a good day. And not only that, but the wife actually mowed the backyard. And this goes back to a year or two ago, where I had 7 dead lawnmowers, and she told me to get rid of them and buy a new one. I said, okay. I looked at the price of new lawnmowers, and I came back and I said, no way. So I took those 7 lawnmowers and I made 3 good ones. And she said to me right then and there, if you can make one that I can start and push easily, I'll mow the lawn. So that's exactly what I did. And I even painted it. Again, her favorite color, plum crazy purple.
Oh, really?
Yep. Yeah, I refer to it
You put
because
the
the
Mopar star on it there somewhere?
uh actually it's an overhead valve, and I have that painted Hemi orange. The
Hey, there
valve
you go.
cover. Yep. Yeah, and I refer to it as the pimped out purple push mower. But all right, Kim. I am sorry, man. I have babbled
That's no
way too much,
problem. Like I
man.
said, that's what these lives are all for. Just ramble and bamble.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping somebody else would come in, talk at you, and just 'cause if I
Same
am.
that story of how you drug a middle trench.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
That's a good one, man. Thanks for sharing.
yeah. Not a problem, man.
Like I
All right,
said, laugh about it now, and that's what matters.
yeah. But anyway, buddy, I'm gonna get off of here.
No
I'm I'm
problem, man. Thanks
I'm
for
gonna let
coming.
you go back to your own live stream and talk about your subjects. I mean, my God, I know how to do my own live streams, and I do have them usually on the weekends in the morning, and so I am so sorry for just taking over everything here,
No
man.
problem.
But y'all have
Next week,
yourselves a good.
I'll probably do it on Saturday.
Okay,
I I think I got Dad's internet figured out over to his shop, and if it works, I'm gonna try again. I've been trying for a couple weeks now
I
to
got
do
you.
it over in his shop.
That would be awesome, man. I'd love to see that. And I promise I won't come in and tell army stories or anything else stupid.
Oh, go ahead. You guys can swap stories back and forth.
Oh, there you go. That might be interesting. Don't tempt me. Don't tempt me. But look,
You're
let me
still
let you
more
go.
welcome anytime, Sidewinder.
I appreciate it, man. Let me let you
No
go. And
problem.
again, I want to say thank you to this entire community. One, for listening to me, and two, for all the help and support. Literally. My God, thank you all so much.
Yeah,
Oh,
and any
thank
of
you,
my
Mopar.
mods want to put up Sidewinder's link to his channel, go for it. In fact, put everybody's link up there.
Yeah, there you go. All right, guys. Y'all have a good evening. You take care. Thank you so much, man. We'll catch you later.
Thanks for coming. Yeah, that was good. That's a little bit different. Talk about this week. I like those old stories like that. And with that, I think we'll go ahead and close it up for this week. Like I said, next week I'm gonna try again to do it from the shop over to Dad's. We got one of those. Uh, they're a Wi-Fi extender that's supposed to go through your electrical wires. It goes back to the original router. Well, we had a power outage, and ever since then, I cannot get that dang thing to link up to the router. But if I get it, we'll go ahead and do it live from his place. If not, I'm going to try to do it here. I'll set up out front here, and I'm going to drag that old 72 Lincoln around and try to get that short deck 460 to light up, see what happens. Or you'll see me light my whole driveway on fire. Something's going to happen next week. I'm by golly going to try. That we do, Mopar, and to show them that we really do care and appreciate everything that they've done. Because if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be able to sit here and tell the stories or tell other stories. It's veterans that have made this all possible for us, and thank you very much to all of you who served. I tried. But yeah, when you show up to the recruiter with two knee braces on, yeah, I had to go off and find something else to do. Thanks a million, everybody, for coming out, and I'll catch you next week. And I'm going to do my hardest to get this going. And like I said, you can see me do something out there. Probably light my driveway on fire. We'll catch y'all next week. Thanks for coming in. Till then, get out there and get some middle hot, like I haven't been doing. We'll see you later.